Howdy, howdy, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Semantics Day, bonus semantic stream. And happy Ben Holmes' birthday. It is his birthday. How old are you turning, Ben?
I am 23 in
23.
Earth years.
Congratulations, the big 2-3. To celebrate, I want to absolutely screw with the format that we have a bit of lag, and I want to encourage a bit of chat participation. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to wish Ben a happy birthday by doing by y'all sending the lyrics to the happy birthday song in the chat. However, the rule is you can only put one word at a time. At the end, I will read out the final happy birthday song to Ben. So, start. Um, Welcome to the stream, Ben. This is actually your second time. And so I just yeah. For anyone who doesn't know who you are, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. So hi, my name is Ben. I am a astronaut by night, of course, and also a software developer by day. I've been around the community for a bit since our last stream. I feel like a world has changed since then. Working in the 11D community for a while, maintaining a project called Slinkity to bring islands architecture to your 11D sites. And since then, I have joined Astro, as you can tell by this helmet here. And I have been working to ramp up our 1.0 beta release on the Astro side. So that's my story up until this point.
All right. Um, yeah, so I'm super thrilled to have you on. Obviously, like this has been a big week for Astro. Before we, I guess, dive into kind of what all that you've been announcing, do you want to kind of talk to us about what Astro even is in the first place?
Yes, what is it? Well, it's a lifestyle, first off. And second, it is a meta framework, as some would call it, for building first static sites and now server rendered sites. If you want to use SSR, we're going to experiment with that a bit. But the main pitch of it is that you start with something that is basically HTML to start in something called an Astro file. And from there, you can write your HTML. You're not writing any JavaScript at all. You can import style assets, and Vite will bundle those up for you if you want to use Sass or Tailwind, Post CSS, etc. And then when you want to reach for client-side components and do some interactive stuff, you can just import the components at the top of the file how you would anywhere else. So you could import a React component, Vue, Svelte, and anything else that you install an integration for. And you can just insert those components onto the page, almost like MDX if you've used that tool before, but obviously way more flexible. You can put any component framework on the page. And you can connect your site together with sitemaps, with static generation if you want it, and with server rendering and dynamic routes if you want to reach for those. So a big platform to start with, like the least amount of tools to build the most efficient thing, and then every hook you could want in order to add more functionality.
Good deal. And so Astro has announced their 1.0 beta. I believe 1.0 officially will be released in June. But what are some of the highlights from the 1.0 beta? Obviously, we'll get into those throughout the stream, but just at a high level, what's the big deal with 1.0?
Yeah, I mean, huge deal, of course. We have a lot of features that have just been building up until this point. The main thing that I was excited about with beta is just really putting a stake in the ground. Like, this is what Astro is. We're now very certain about the direction we want to head in. And the Monday post actually explains that a bit of like Astro's philosophy leading up to now. And as part of the beta, I mean, the main thing is definitely server side rendering, which is something that we just announced and finalized the documentation for a couple weeks leading up to the announcement. And also, integrations are a big deal where if you just want to run a CLI command to say, add React to my project, it'll just automatically pull up a wizard and help you through the process. And it'll do that for Tailwind and Sitemaps and a number of other things that you can try out. So the main things are definitely like extensibility and where you can deploy with serverless and edge computing soon, Netlify serverless at launch, and extensibility with what tools you want to bring in and making it super freaking easy. But yeah, it's really a nice platform for building like content-based sites for sure, with e-commerce being like the next big use case that we're sort of after.
Absolutely. I am very excited to dive into this. And actually, just full confession, Astro is one of those things I've been really meaning to get to and just have not had the chance. So this is going to be like my first time actually trying Astro. So super stoked for that. Finally, before we, I guess, start diving into things, I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat as to how that birthday song went.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to read it out for you.
All right.
Happy birthday, Slinkity, ah, yeah, birthday to you, happy noise. Obviously, copyright infringement right there.
This is yeah, a little bit. Definitely helps. Yeah,
Definitely
you don't
helps.
have to blur that part out when you upload it.
There we go. There we go.
Nice.
Yes. So let's go ahead and start diving into this. I'm gonna share my screen. First of all, we've got Ben on. Ben can be, found a variety of places, but perhaps most importantly on Twitter. You should go follow him. Yeah, and from there, I guess you can kind of take it. Where should we get started?
Yeah, for sure. So first, I might take off this helmet just because I'm back on Earth. I at least wanted to showcase this beautiful astronaut helmet that I always have ready to go. But it's super easy to get started here. Can I see your screen on this share that we're on right now?
Yeah, I should be. I'm sharing my screen on Zoom.
Oh, wrong desktop. Okay, cool.
Oh, I see. I see. Yep.
All right, nice. But yeah, it is as simple as pulling up a terminal and running npm init astro, and we can kind of just go from there.
Okay. Do it. And pop open in the new window. There we go. Let me do this. So you said npx init astro like this?
npm.
npm.
Actually.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. This is something I learned. It's actually called create astro, but npm has a built-in thing where if it starts with create, you can run init instead.
Just volume stuff. Getting a bit of feedback from the chat. There we go. Hopefully that should be better. Okay, directory not. Oh, you know what?
Shoot.
I should create a new directory and then try.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna call this Astro V1 beta. I write in, and now npm init astro. All right. Do you have a particular template you like? And actually, are the templates new?
They've been around for a bit. They just kept expanding, as you might imagine. We can start with the starter kit to at least have some components ready to go. Actually, no, let's do minimal. Oh, a little late there, but let's go ahead and do it.
All right.
What are we doing? Should we showcase integration? Should we? What should we show off? There's so much.
I mean, it's your stream. What do you want to show?
Yeah, let's do minimal and just add stuff by hand.
Okay. Minimal it is.
All right.
npm install.
Yep. And you're free to use the yarn in npm if that's your thing. To at least call out.
Steph, thank you so much for the gifted subs. You are so kind. Anyone who wants can make use of those new emotes there. You are too kind, Steph.
Oh, there's new emotes.
You what?
Nice. New emotes? I didn't even know.
I haven't added any in a while, but I've got like the logo. There's a tuna one that's big. You can use the accessibility one, the A11Y. Got a few good ones in there.
Nice.
Yeah. Is you're thinking about a whole lot with the
plain npm. You never know. We download all the JavaScript to your computer, so you don't ship it to the client.
Wow. Yeah, it's a good philosophy.
Great philosophy.
Right. Oh, it's almost there. There we go.
There we go. Just a few thousand warnings and we're here. All right.
Cool. Initialize dash I'm sure quote initial commit has to be the most common git commit name on like GitHub. And what I'm actually going to do is create go ahead and create this as a GitHub repository as well, so we have a place to stick this. Astro V1 beta, boom. Yep. And oh, systems are go. That's good, Lindsay.
Nice.
Aaron, thank you so much. Yeah, I did shear off so much hair. Got a bit of a wedding coming up, and it turns out you can't have a messy mop for a wedding. That's not a good sign. So there we go. Cool.
Nice. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Pop this open in our editor. It is coming up. And should I just go ahead and run npm run dev?
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Right. So we've got a new project here. I guess I would look the source. You mentioned Astro files.
Mhm.
I see one of those in there. Looks like good old
Yes,
HTML with some front matter. Ooh,
sure is. And yeah, go ahead and install that guy.
got it.
We actually have a amazing person on the core team now, Erica. She's been doing the language tools for a while, and it's got a bunch of tooltips now and links to documentation. And when you hover over things, like it's super integrated.
That is exciting. Always love seeing
Very
good
exciting.
dev tooling like that. It's installing. It's gonna think for a minute. Let's see what else have we got. We've got public with a favicon. Few other
There it is.
things.
It's alive.
All right.
That's kind of it. Yeah, when
Okay.
it says minimal, it means it for
Very
sure.
minimal. Yeah. What
Yeah.
to now,
So the
Ben?
only the only like enforced directories are source is where all your code goes, as you might imagine. Public is where any resources go that shouldn't be transformed in some way. Like, for example, you can put SCSS in here because that gets processed by Veed and gets transformed. But if you want to put like plain CSS files or fonts or other static assets like robots.txt, that's definitely a good place to put them. And those will get copied to the main build without the public like nested directory. And the only other ones are you could put a components directory inside of source when you start creating components. And pages is where your routes will go. So index.astro becomes index.html, as you might imagine. But as you can see, it's plain HTML all the way until the end. And then when you want to start reaching for templating, for example, you're going to use a JSX style syntax in order to do it, but without the JSXisms. There's no class name if you're worried about that. There's no HTML4, none of the crazy stuff. It's just like if you want to run a dot map, you can do a dot map. So
Nice.
kind of the main thing. But yeah, we can pull up a dev server to at least see the heading, at least for now.
Yeah. I am always have to be very careful about like just what browsers am I opening up on stream. Otherwise, it's just
Yes,
gonna open up a completely new process. Um,
totally.
Gorgeous. That's
Oh,
art right there.
minimalist. All
All
right.
right.
So if you want to, what can we do here? I mean, the thinking was that we could create a small sort of e-commerce experience that
Okay.
is space themed as well. I did a little demo of this over on our Twitter recently of a website that lets you pull up any NASA picture that you want to and deliver it to your door as a physical print. Was really the only excuse I had to use NASA images, of course, but it's a really cool API. I definitely want to explore that one.
All right.
But
Let's do
yeah,
it.
at least with our setup right now, um, I mean, the first thing you can do to make it pretty is that public folder that I mentioned to you in like a separate repository. We can just
Yes.
drag it into here.
All right. Get this real quick. There we go.
Nice.
This. Uh, Copy that. And yeah. V1 beta. Pop that open.
Nice.
Paste.
And you can just replace.
Yep. Okay. And this is just you mentioned you ahead of time that you had done some like styles and fonts and stuff like that. Like nothing game breaking here, just adding, your good old static assets.
Yep, nothing crazy. Pattern I've normally seen is like if you got globals and you got fonts, they'll go in public, and you can just put them into any site that you develop. So to use those assets, of course, you would use a link tag. So you can go ahead and just do that if you want to.
Okay. So like rel style sheet and href. This is probably going to be globals, and I think it's just global.css. That
That'll do it.
nothing,
Yeah.
no prefixes or anything like that at the beginning.
You can put a leading slash. I don't think it'll break anything if you don't.
We've got a nice gradient. We've got some fonts
You have
going on.
gradient.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, we actually need to load the fonts. It can
Okay,
look cooler
that's
than
its
this.
own fonts.css.
Yeah. Fonts.css. Yeah. It's good to split out fonts if you use like, I've seen preload for like media types and stuff like that. But yeah, once we load these on the page, get our nice Astro retro font going.
Good deal.
And yeah, we can also bump this to a layout if you want to and apply it to some pages that we're making in a bit.
I'm here for it.
All right. So this is not how you do it in 11D. The main thing to mention is that like 11D is kind of this implicit flow where you like put things at the top of your front matter and it kind of cascades down. In Astro, everything is treated as a component. So layouts are also components, which means if you go in source, you can create a components directory and a layout.astro capitalized because it's a component, but I'm not sure if it's a hard requirement or anything.
Right.
And you can kind of just paste index astro in here, at least to start.
With the front matter and everything, or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Components can have front matter too.
Right.
And yeah, the only thing to add is a slot element inside of the body, and that's going to be where content is inserted.
All right, and probably replace the H1.
Sure.
Is slot self-closing like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it. And to use it, you can go back to index astro maybe and import it at the top of the file using a JavaScript ESM import.
Layout.
Yep. And it should give you autocomplete. Nice. Language tools, right?
If it's all JSX style, then I can do this, and then whatever goes in here is my slots.
Sure is. There it is.
Okay. Oh, that's easy. Love that.
There it is. And you can import this into any page, as you might imagine. And you can import it into Markdown as well. Not sure if we'll demo that, but a lot of people like you using components inside their Markdown. And we basically support that out of the box. So if you want to like import a view component in your Markdown, that's a thing. But here, let's just go ahead and stick with Astro files probably. And
Sure.
if you have ideas for interactive components, we can totally try those too. But yeah,
Not
from
at
here,
the moment.
totally fair. So yeah, let's go ahead and make a dynamic route maybe to store all of our products that we're going to generate here.
Okay. So that's going to be probably inside pages. And then I know next for dynamic uses the like square braces. With this would be something like an identifier like a SKU or something like that. Is it the same kind of thing in Astro?
Exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah, we model a lot of things off of existing libraries like Next.js. We've also modeled like props off of kind of how Svelte does it, taking the best ideas from everywhere. But yeah, from here, we could probably import the layout again in order to put it on the page.
You know, one of the best skills, but also the least necessary skills to have as a tech streamer is the ability to type. Fun fact.
Yeah. If you're live coding, I mean, it is tough. Sorry to start us at a bare minimal, but we gotta try them. It's kind of fun to do this as like a usability test of like, if I tell you to do something, maybe you know how to do it. I don't know. If not, we'll improve. But yeah, now we have our layout for products. And right now we're in static build mode, which means if we want to use products, we would need maybe a get static paths in order to like list out, here are all the pages you need to generate. and I'm going to go ahead and pull in the skew if I want to.
Okay.
Um, but the second option is to do a server deployment. So you don't need get static paths, and suddenly everything's on a server. So we could try get static paths first to at least show it off.
Yeah, let's
And
do
then
that
try
real
doing a
quick
server.
if you think we can like
Yeah,
speed run that real quick.
think so.
All right.
So yeah, in order to do it, from here you can export a function called get static paths.
Does it take
And
any arguments?
it can, if you want to use this to like generate an RSS feed, for example, we pass down helper functions. But here, I don't think we're going to do that.
Okay.
Right now, we can generate some static routes and then start pulling in API data in a moment. But yeah, from here, you can return an array. And it's going to have some objects in it, as you might imagine, where it's going to have params and props, where props are any like information associated with that product, and params correspond to like what you put in the file name over there.
Oh,
So
okay. So
the
this
only
this
yeah
would be something like if here, I'll rearrange that. So this would be something like skew now
Mhm.
is, you know, um we're doing space, so this could be something like the cat eye nebula or whatever. I guess if it's a skew it'd be a number, right? Most likely, but yeah. Then you could have props, whatever needs to go in here. Doesn't look like we'll necessarily need anything, maybe, or we might, but this
yeah
is gonna map to the URL. So if you go to like slash cat eye nebula, it'll pull up this page with this layout and with these props.
exactly yeah
Okay.
yeah you can chuck like a name in there maybe just to pull it in as like name cat eye nebula.
Yeah. All right. So I'll do that, and then I wanted to access that down here. How would I do that?
Hmm.
Like, is that you said JSX? So is it props.name?
Nearly. So in order for props to exist, thank you, autocomplete, you can create a variable inside of your front matter, and that variable will be accessible down here. So you could say const do do do. Well, it's actually on the astro object. So const props equals astro.props, capital A. Nice.
Okay.
There it is.
Also, man, those dev tools are very nice because
They're
I was
working.
gonna go lowercase and it corrected me.
No, it knew. It's the only Globo we have. And we're going to see a lot of fancy things on there for sure. But now you
Now,
have
if I
your props.
save this and go here and say cat eye nebula, and is it gonna need a trailing slash?
No,
Nice. Don't
there it is.
know. Oh, oh, I actually do know why. Now we need.
Yeah, good catch. I didn't even think of
Boom.
that.
Okay, very cool. So
Perfect.
this has been generated statically though, right? So like we have built, an HTML page ahead of time that we knew we were gonna need, and this presumably would just be sitting out there on some server.
Exactly. Yeah, you can actually run a production build from your terminal to like at least see what it looks like.
Sure.
It should look how you expect.
It's probably npm run build if I'm remembering correctly.
That's the one. And we actually improved the build logs a lot. So they give
Okay.
you a lot of granular info as you go. And that's
Hmm.
it.
Okay. And if I go back to my editor, I've got dist. Here's my index.html. Um, and here's my cat eye nebula. Rad.
There it is.
Okay.
And if you want a sitemap, we can add the sitemap integration
Yeah, let's
in
do
order
it.
to generate one of those.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'll leave it like this, not with the dev server on, because we'll want to see the sitemap and the build output.
Right.
Okay, so how do I add a sitemap? That's one of the integrations you mentioned, right?
Yeah. So to do it, you can pop back over to the terminal. Actually, we don't have to write any code for this. You can just say astro add and sitemap.
Like this.
Yep.
Do I need to
Oh,
globally install something?
you could do npx astro add if you want. Do. And that will import and update your config automatically. Wow.
Okay. Uh, I do love the like safety guards there of like here's exactly what we
Mm-hmm.
plan to install and what's gonna change. Feel like that would give anyone like a little more confidence that you're not just installing arbitrary things.
Yeah, exactly. And you can opt out of either one if you want to, if you have a reason. Like maybe we have the wrong package manager or something. Though I think it auto detects that actually. So, but yeah, that's it. And now
Okay.
if you run a build again, it'll just sitemap it.
All right. Gonna
Do do
think for
do.
a hot second. The sitemap integration requires either the site astro
Huh.
config option.
I just wrote that log.
You just
So
did. Okay.
yeah. So if we head back over to config, the reason you use sitemap is, I mean, it's going to have to map to a production ready URL. So you can provide a site inside of this config right here, linking to a website. It doesn't have to be a real one, of course.
Yeah. I'll put it as semantics dev, a website that is not quite ready but exists and is a safe domain. So now
Yeah,
it should be good.
that's it. We can convert it to a NASA storefront.
Okay. There we go. It's complete. And
Complete.
sitemap.xml all created for me. I'm not gonna bother to pretty
Wow.
format this, but it's there. That's gorgeous. So good. Man, that's even easier than adding plugins to Eleventy.
Yeah, I mean, integrations are basically our idea of plugins because they have access to like everything in the build step. We have full docs on that, of course. But like if you want to hook into before build, do this, after build, do this, when the config resolves, fetch the directory and do something else. There's a ton of stuff that it hooks into already. And if it's a first party integration, you have the little CLI helper to just put it in there automatically. But I'd love to expand that out to third party as well. So literally anyone could like submit a new integration and you could just astro add that integration into your project. But right now we have like the official ones that you can use. And you can also use it to add your component frameworks. So like if you want to add React, you can astro add React or something like that.
Very cool. All right. So now that we have like these pages being created, kind of statically, we were going to try to make these server side. Is that still something we can do?
Oh yeah, for sure. So as you might imagine, when you go server side, you don't need get static paths anymore. You can just pluck off the SKU and do any craziness that you really want to. But in order to do that, yeah, let's go ahead and turn this into a server first, and then we can mess around with API calls.
Okay. How do we get started with that?
How do we server? Yes. So you will need to type 2 lines of code for this. I'm sorry, it's so much work.
So much.
But if I know, so if you go to the Astro config,
Yes.
well, actually, we should probably install this first, but you can install it and then apply it here. But we're going to install at astrojs/node.
At astro.js, and then I'm sorry, I have you turned down. What was the last part?
Node.
Node. Okay.
Yeah, this is the simplest SSR adapter that we have right now. It just turns it into a node server, as you might expect. But we have one for Deno. We have one for Netlify serverless, which is really neat. I was actually talking with Prince about it a bit. He was helping me troubleshoot. So that should be updated soon as well.
All right.
But yeah, now you have it. You can import it, as you might imagine.
Import. Well, you'll need to let me know. Is it a destructured import?
It is not. It's just default.
Okay, and what do you like to call it? Just like node server or something like that?
Sure. Yeah, you can call it whatever.
Okay.
And
And
then it's going to be a separate thing called adapter.
adapter. Adapter is going to be what type is adapter? Oh, do I just put node server like that?
Yep.
Oh, okay,
And
got it.
call it as a function. And that should be it.
Right, got it. Sorry, it was replying someone in the chat. There we go. Okay,
Gotcha.
so adapter that this returns like a server adapter. Um, okay. So is our Astro site like magically server side rendered now, or like what's changed as a result of adding this adapter?
Yes. So the way we've set up adapters are all or nothing, basically. So when you slap on an adapter, your whole app's a server now. And
Hmm.
you don't need to configure anything else. It just is a server. And you could choose any deployment target that you want. It's informed by how SvelteKit does things and how Remix does things. It was just like the nicest way to do it. But every adapter can have its own configuration options. Where, for example, if you wanted one of your pages to be static, the node server adapter would have to have some behavior to say, look for this flag for static, and then I'll make it a static asset or something
Hmm.
like that. At the moment, everything is just a server endpoint. There aren't any like static assets that are rendered out. But since most things are going to be done server side, like Google's going to be happy. It's not client side rendered, it is server
Mm-hmm.
rendered. But yeah, it's definitely going to expand from here, but it's meant to be as hands off as possible.
Makes sense. Okay. So now do I need to I probably need to make some changes to not my layout, but to here. I need to make some changes in here.
I mean, you'll probably just get a warning saying you don't need get static pads, but I think it'll still just keep working.
Okay.
But now, a nice thing that you can do, I believe. Yeah, go ahead and do that. And well, props isn't going to have anything anymore because props don't exist. But
Got
you
it.
could literally just like say props equals name cat eye nebula or something.
Props equal oh, is name a global now?
No, I just meant like the thing you had on lines 10 through 12, I guess. You could just copy in here for now.
Oh, I let props this part.
Yeah.
Fix this up. And as there we go.
Beautiful. Love it.
Beautiful. I can program, I promise.
I did the code.
Okay,
Oh, so you need code.
got it. So now
Yep.
here I refresh. Everything still seems to be working fine, but the I guess big test here is if I could go here. Okay, what's another famous space thing? The Pillars of Creation? That's one of them, right?
Sure.
Uh,
I've never heard of it. I'm gonna look it up for sure.
okay.
Yeah. And the fun thing about this now is like in your URL, you could say like banana, and it would pull up this page and let you pull in that parameter and do whatever you want with banana.
Okay.
And right now we're just serving the same content for every dynamic URL that you could have, other than the home page, because we have a separate index.astro set up.
Makes sense.
So it's kind of like a catch-all right now.
So how do I get the information from the URL then to be able to start using it? Because presumably I would want to be serving different content on each of those pages.
Exactly. Yeah. So astro.params is going to give you the params, and that's kind of
So
it.
can
Yeah.
I all right, so astro.params, and then I guess I would presumably do something with that, right? Like here I'll say like
Yeah. We'll probably do like a API request in a second.
yeah, let's do that.
And then
Um
params.
and just to I guess prove that we have different stuff here, I
Mm-hmm.
could do params.skew banana
There's your banana.
Andromeda, stuff like that. Okay.
Andromeda. There it is. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so let's do some like actual API business then, I think. Is the kind of natural next step here.
Yeah. Let's get it. So mentioned the NASA API to you before the stream. We can go
Yes.
ahead and use that guy. If you want to pull up, I think it was just NASA-API.gov or something to at least like look at the endpoints available.
Yeah, it was api.nasa.gov.
Sounds
Yeah.
right.
And so ahead of time, Ben sent me this link, and I generated my own access token. Really quick and easy to do so. Just plug in your name and your email, and you're good to go. Um, and here's all the APIs they've got. Do you have a
You
particular
got
favorite
everything.
API you want to use for this?
Yeah, I've just been using the photo of the day one because it's a little bit simpler to parse. They have an images API, but you can put in like a search query and search for literally anything, but you end up getting a lot of kind of like false positives where it's like, I search for galaxy and it gives me a picture of a galaxy conference. And I'm like, well, that's
Ah,
not really, it's not really a galaxy,
hmm.
but it's all available. And this is a simple one that just lets you get some cool photos within a date range, and they give you a little bit of information about that photo and other things. We'll probably be fetching from 2021 as a parameter because for some reason they started sending videos in 2022. And it's like,
Interesting.
it's called photo of the day, man. I didn't want a video link. But yeah, it's a fun little API to try out here.
Uh, oh, we have, and I cannot access. Hey, sorry, I'm getting the
Okay.
a bot in the chat. There we
Oh no.
go. Man, been a while since I've had any of those.
Mm.
All right. Anyways, yes. So we've got this URL, and then I've got an API key that, um, as you and I have discussed, is not terribly necessary to protect, but it's just one that we've generated ahead of time just to make sure we don't run into rate limits. So do I just start like using node fetch in here? Like what am
I
I gonna do in here?
do what feels natural. I want to see what you
Okay.
do.
So probably you know what, I'm going to in that case install node fetch.
You're already
Um
doing too much.
you what?
You don't need to do that.
Oh, is node fetch already in there?
Fetch is already in there.
Fetch? Okay. Wait, like as just a global, so I could just say like what,
Yeah.
like const image equals and just like fetch.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
There it is.
It would help if I hadn't accidentally copied that. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me get my need to enable privacy mode real quick so that I can then open up Obsidian.
Yeah, no problem.
Is
You can put it in a .env
yeah,
basically
I'm not
fine.
worried about protecting the secrets. It's just I'm about to
Oh, okay.
open my notes app,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just want to be sure nothing surprises me. Okay, there we are. Turn off that mode, and yeah.
Yeah. You can actually
Yes.
put that in env
Yeah,
to at least
let's do that. Let's do
show
that
how
real
easy
quick.
it is.
Again, like these secrets for the NASA API are not terribly like mission critical to protect, but still a good practice to show off. So I'm gonna call that NASA API, stick that in there. Um, and then in here, do I need to do like require.env.config?
No.
It's just already taken care
So
of.
this is a Vite thing actually. This is not something that Astro had to build themselves. But at the end of this, you could say plus or use template strings, whatever you prefer. And then in here, we can do a that, and that's import dot meta
Import.meta.
dot meta dot
Oh,
env, yeah, dot NASA
like,
API.
yeah. Okay, got that.
Got that.
And then fetch here. Does this will Astro automatically like resolve this like by the time it gets in
Mhm.
here?
Oh yeah. So everything in that front matter will be run either at build time or on server request.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah, it used to just be like front matter, but now to me it's like it's a server endpoint, and then below it is the UI for that server endpoint. Like you're basically writing an
Mhm.
express server with a ton of helpers at this point in time.
So good.
But it could also be like a Netlify helper or something like that. But yeah, now you can
Okay.
fetch, and you can put await fetch if you want to, because we have top level await.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, so I've got image, and then I don't actually know what the data shape of this. We
Yeah,
will
it's
likely.
JSON.
Yeah. Uh, does it not give me the response? Is this just gonna
Just
be
click on
like?
that example query, and it'll do it, because the demo key is allowed.
Oh, okay. So, and is I need one of those like JSON formatters. Actually, I think I
They're
had one of
nice.
those
I
once
can't
upon a
remember what I
time,
have.
but is here it is, URL. Okay.
Yeah, that's the main one you need.
Image. Wow. Here. Image source equals. I'm just gonna be image.url, and then I gotta.
I mean, it's required. We should
Uh,
honestly have a warning for alt at this moment.
the,
Title, I think, is one of them. Yeah.
yeah, it's not perfect, but for what we can get from the API,
Mm-hmm.
they'll have to suffice.
It'll
Uh,
do.
not. Well, would
Well,
it be
oh,
image.data?
because so no, actually, you just need to do a dot then on the end of that fetch to do like the res
Oh,
JSON,
I see.
and then you can use it. Yeah, you can do two awaits, or yeah, this approach is
JSON.
always like a little cleaner.
There we go. Think
Nice.
we're good.
That's it. Yeah.
Back here, got an image, so that's
We have
promising.
an image.
If
That's
I
cool. It's on
inspect
film.
this,
Oh, that's neat.
uh, yeah, great comet of
Look at
1997.
that.
Okay, very neat.
All right. So now that we have that, my thinking was like the dynamic URL we have could be a date, and then we can
Okay,
pass the date to NASA.
yeah. So it needs it. Not. I accidentally hit the wrong button
Voiceover off.
uh
Ooh,
on my stream deck. There we go. Okay,
it's a good shortcut though.
so yeah, because it needs like year, month, day format. And we're just gonna do a single date probably.
Yeah, probably.
In that case, and date equals. This is what is this? Is this astro.param? Oh, jeez.
Woo.
What is
Yes, astro.params dot
M's dot, and we've got skew, but I'm gonna
skew.
probably actually rename this now to date because expressive
Hmm,
code is important. Um,
I'm into it.
all right, and I need to figure out a better way to like format this just to show
Strings
folks.
are tough,
On,
especially with big font. Nice.
yeah, there we go. That's better. Those. All right, so this will get whatever date is in the URL. We're not doing any sort of like validation. I don't know if validation is really a common thing or a thing that Astro has a pattern for, but currently we're
Oh,
not
we're gonna
doing
try
any
it.
of that.
Oh yeah.
And then I go to, let's say, 2020 03 15, an absolutely cursed day for most people. We have alt text. We don't seem to
Funky.
have the image. Wonder if
Yeah,
that's
inspect
just.
and see if it's a video, because it just
Mm,
happens. You
there we
can
go.
they have a type field, and you can probably do like a we'll do some validation in a second, but we could probably do validation on like if it's a video, just redirect to the homepage or something until we can handle it.
Yeah. Um, okay. Here we go. So then we look at like this and you said type
Media type.
Media type.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We maybe could do some smarter actually, do you want to do some smarter validation? Is that something you want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how smart you want to get, but the main thing to show off is like you can validate in here and redirect when things go wrong.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
oh, okay. If
Well,
image dot oh wait, yeah. Image media
sure.
type is not equal to image, then we redirect. And how would we redirect in here?
Yes. So this is a super fun part. You can return a valid response object, and it is just like allowed. We have a specific helper for redirects because it's like the syntax is a little funky when you're writing it by hand. So in here, you could do like astro.redirect and then the path that you want.
Like in here, Astro. Oh wait,
Um,
capital.
just like delete response and do astro.redirect.
Okay. This.
At least wanted to mention like if you want to do something other than a redirect, you could return a new response if you want.
This. Wait. I feel like something's not quite.
I think it's language tool updates. Trust me that this works.
Okay. And
It's a
then
very new feature.
in here, do I need to pass a new path?
Yeah, you could do slash to just go to the homepage.
Yeah. Okay. So if the response that we get is not for an image, then we're just gonna go to the homepage. We know. Oh, is that where all the I've been hearing like boop 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 sounds, and I think it's coming from my
Oh, really?
terminal. Didn't know my terminal could, but yeah. So refresh this. We would expect, yeah, we're able to get here just fine, but we know the 15th is broken, because of course March 15th, 2020
There it
was
is.
broken for a lot of people.
It was cursed.
It was
We could just
cursed.
specifically search for that day, to be honest.
Mhm.
Just be certain.
So there we go. All right, cool. So we've got a little bit of validation. We could probably do, some format validation as well.
Mhm.
Like if I don't know why it keeps. There we go. Pro dot what was it? It was params dot date. You know what? I am going to pull out some good old regex magic here. So um
All right, let's see this.
oh, this is
Ooh.
and this
Mhm.
and nope, that's not it. Did that wrong. There we go. This color sign. I promise I can regex. Um,
This is impressive to me.
once more with feeling. Oh, this. This should
Nice. I
be.
didn't know about the curlies too, because I would have typed
Yeah.
DD or something.
Um,
Nice.
there we go. I think this works. And then if not, date format dot test
Mhm.
astro params date. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. A little redirect. Is it? All right. You know what? Just give a good restart just for good measure, even though I don't actually think we need it. So we should
I don't think
expect
so, yeah.
that the March 16th, 2020, this works. Uh
Oh,
it would help if I waited for everything to come up. But
nice.
if I just said 2020, it redirects
There it
me.
is.
If I said
All right.
tomato, it redirects me. Look at that. I can do regex on
Wow.
air.
Look at that. Oh, that's good.
All right. All right, all right, all right. I'm here for that. Um Yeah, Pukima in the chat is suggesting an alternative here. Um, yeah, because we've got multiple checks here, and there's just like different approaches for like should you combine all those or what.
Mhm.
I'm doing an early return here because I know like if there's
I like
a
that.
if there's a invalid date format, then I shouldn't even try passing it to the NASA API. That's why I've got it the
Mhm.
way I've got it, but to each their own for sure. Okay. So what next, Ben?
What next? So we have a page being generated. We have redirects back to the homepage if we want them. Um, what now? We could create a form if we want to
Okay.
and start like letting people put in info and maybe try to check out with them.
All right. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So do we want to just do that here in our layout, or is there a good place, or sorry, in our little area down here, or is we want a new page, or how do you want to do this?
This is a good place. I mean, you can always make a component if you really want to, but yeah.
All right. And then do I need to do anything like add an action or anything like that?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do an action.
Probably post.
Action post. Yeah.
Wait, I think no, it's method post, and then action is for
Action
the
is
like
the
URL.
yeah.
Okay. Do we have a URL we need to post to?
We can post to a checkout URL once we make it. But yeah, foreshadowing, I mean, we're doing this all server side, so we're not preventing default or doing anything wild. You can for sure if you want to like use a component and all of that fun stuff. But for now, like, let's just no JavaScript it. Let's go for it.
Cool. Always down for that. All right. And what kinds of information are we collecting in this form?
Um, I mean, I put down like quantity and size, where like quantity is a drop down or size is a drop down, and quantity is a number.
Equals quantity and input type equals number ID equals quantity. Give it a name as well for form submission purposes. There we go. Then you've got like a drop down here. Gonna need its own label. And this is for size. Can be size, name, size. Give it a few options. Um, I'm just presumably if you were actually selling like prints of this, you would have like
Yeah,
actual dimensions. But for demo purposes, here's how we're just gonna do it.
yeah, it could be a t-shirt now. It's t-shirt design. But yeah, we're on a page. It's down there. Added some base styles just to make it chubby, but
Yep.
we could probably do like a CSS grid or something. Put them side by side, or
Yeah.
whatever artistic direction you want to go.
I yeah. All right. Let's thinking about formatting that. There we go. Okay. So
There it is.
form.
So actually, I
Yo,
might suggest writing some styles in the file itself
in
just
components.
to show that off. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like
So
in here, I can go ahead and say
um,
style.
I think outside of layout, that might
And
work though. I actually don't know.
okay.
Yeah, and every style you create is going to be scoped to the page, similar
No
to
kidding. So
Svelte.
I don't even have to write the
Yeah.
like scoped keyword that you see in
No.
like other nice.
You could put lang for like lang SCSS if you want to, but not required. I think you'll need
Neat.
to install SCSS if I'm
Yeah, let's
remembering
not for
correctly.
this, but okay.
All right.
All right. So form display grid. We're gonna give this a big chunky margin as well, just
Chunk
to
margin.
like fully separate it from everything around. Um, let's see. And
Things are happening.
form but we'll just give this a margin bottom. I could lobotomize owl this, but it gets weird since we've got like labels and stuff. So it'll just be two M's. And besides that, it's very gross, maybe add label, font family, then what's called RT something that starts with an A, right? Alias, was that it?
Yeah, I think there's a CSS variable for it. I just can't remember the name for it.
Look. Oh, it would be in fonts, wouldn't it? No, no, because this is just the font face declaration.
Yeah, in global, there's a nice.
Oop, too many hyphens. There we go.
It does that to me every time. It's like it's too smart.
Yep.
There it is.
Nice. I'm just gonna keep prettying this up. Fuel quick font weight like this. I don't know if you've got 800 installed, but let's find out. And then font
It might be
size.
700.
I think let's just put extra large and see what happens. Boom. Nice.
Big. Whew. Looks good.
All right. So now if I submit this, actually, that's the other thing we need is, yeah, I have a submit button. And so I know that the submit is the default type for button. However, React has so thoroughly trained me to put this on like every button anyways.
It helps me know.
Yeah.
Like whenever I add another button, I'm not worried about it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. It's not the prettiest thing, but we're gonna work with it. 5
Yep.
and then large and then submit.
Large.
It takes me here because we don't currently have a checkout page, right?
Yep. It probably went to the dynamic route, saw that checkout failed the regex, and then redirected here.
Nice.
So we caught our own issue before it even happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So should we go ahead and just add like a checkout page?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Import layout from
Ooh.
Anytime I go like just a little too fast,
I think if you
I
don't know. Like maybe you need to close the front matter block and then it'll start being smart.
There we go. Components. There we go.
There it is.
I just went a little too quickly.
Good to know.
All right. Here we're gonna go ahead and start using my layout. Do I not have my emoji keyboard right now? I don't. There we go. Anyways, try this once more. We go to. Oh, right. That was one of the days that didn't work. Okay. So we go here. You say 5. I'll say medium this time. Submit goes here. All right. Yeah, nice little flow. Is there a way for me to obviously like we don't really have full APIs backing things, but where would I insert the like API calls, the database changes, the actual like ordering? Where would I submit that in this flow?
Yeah. So again, like the front matter is literally an endpoint at the end of the day. So inside of that front matter, you can access the request that's coming in because this is going to be a post request as we've set it up. And that post request is going to have some data on the body that we can go ahead and parse. So in here, you can say const request equals astro.request.
Okay.
Assuming it's up to date. Good. Wasn't sure if that change got in. Okay. So now you have the request, and it is just going to be a request object of a type post and then a body that you can parse through. So the fun thing is that it's form data, and because we're using node request objects, there's not a helpful parser for form data. Like the same way you do .json and .text, there isn't a .form data on the request object we're using. But it's in the MDN doc, so we're like, I'm gonna maybe push an issue to get form data in there because it's
Mhm.
nice. But in order to parse it, one thing that I found is there's a built-in called query string is the package. You can import at the top of the file as like import query string from query string. I think there's another way to parse form data that involves like the URL object, but I'm totally blanking on how it works. So let's go ahead and just use this. But this is not an external package. This is a node thing. So I think the way you do it is just saying const data equals query string, and then just pass in the request itself. And we can console log it, see what it looks like.
Yeah, and this
Confirm log.
my editor's being overeager. This is
Yeah, I don't
gonna
know what's
console
up.
log into my terminal.
Yes, and I may have gotten something wrong there. I'm gonna double check my source code on that
Think.
because I know there's a way to do it.
Let me. This. Start from here. And keep it. Yeah, it's not thrilled with that.
Yeah. Let me see.
Hey, Nino Pepper, thank you so much for the sub. Super appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not thrilled with this. And I think it's actually query string dot parse request.
Maybe so. We can try that.
Let's try it.
And it'll be in your terminal console.
Yeah.
Really? Did you put names on each of the fields?
Could have. Yeah. Also, I'm noticing.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Oh, do I
So
need
I
to?
think if you
I
do
think I need to get a property.
request.text,
This not body. I think that's what it is. Oh,
that could also be it. Yeah.
doesn't seem to like that
Dot
type.
to string. Because I
Goodness.
know that's it's a stream.
Okay. We're gonna hope. We're gonna hope. Scroll down here. Oh, that's also weird. Okay,
Yeah,
I
let me
feel like
double
we are
check
doing
on how I
something
did
very
it.
wrong.
Probably. I mean, we're just stabbing in the dark with that. I know there's if we don't want to use query string or something wild, I think URL search params has something for this. I'm reading MDN right now to recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this works actually. If you go ahead and say, instead of using, let me go back here. Instead of using query string, try using new URL search params.
Okay. New URL search params like this.
Yes. Thank you.
Then request, passive request.
I think you pass request.text function, and that will parse the body to text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find out.
With open close parentheses. And an await, looks like.
Getting there. No more red
Neat.
squigglies. Then
all right.
into console.log data. And just to
Yeah, and this will be a map. So you'll do like a.
Oh,
well, let's see what the console says.
Nikki actually suggests for a post it's gonna be in the body.
I
That doesn't
don't think
seem
so.
to be getting it
Because text converts the body, and the body object itself is like unparsed. We'll try it though.
We'll try it. So this,
if that's
the beauty of
an
a live stream, honestly, the beauty of a live demo. Oh, sure. I'll say it's 76 medium.
Yes.
Look at that.
Oh, looky there.
We got there. Okay. And presumably then we would be using this data to like actually make like database mutations and stuff like that.
We can do all sorts of things. Yeah. In order to access them, I think it's like data.get quantity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to like put it on the page.
Yeah, let's do that. So console log data, we'll keep that in there. And I'll use the output element, which is,
Ooh,
yeah,
clean.
for those who are unfamiliar, the output element is an element that represents the result of a calculation, typically a form submission. So, data dot get quantity, and think, and back up and do this again. There we go. Okay, nice.
There it is. All right.
Yeah, Nikki,
You
thank
have
you so
purchased
much
thing.
for your help in the chat. Nikki says that
Oh yeah.
usually query string is for a get. Um, yeah,
Maybe so. Yeah.
cool.
That was just a Stack Overflow of like, I need to read form data somehow. But at the end, form data is just like a URL param like any other. So if you just use the web native search params, you can parse form data very easily.
Hmm.
So at that point, maybe form data is not even necessary. It's like a helper. But yeah.
We have a question from our friend Lindsay who asks, looking at how Astro is doing things here, you can basically get the same setup that Remix provides with having get and post be at the same route, right?
Yes, you can do anything with these endpoints. And I've definitely had like an identity crisis looking at this. Is like Remix and Astro felt like very different projects to me. And once you unlock servers, oh my God, they're almost the same. At least in like what you are capable of. The one big piece is, of course, Astro is a multi-page app where every route is its own page and you refresh to visit other routes on your site. And Remix is built around React Router and has all sorts of data fetching madness. Not to say single page apps aren't in the future. People have been working on framework agnostic integrations where you could have a single page app across everything. But I'll leave it up in the air as like that's definitely a community driven thing that we're still exploring and seeing what's possible. Because of course Remix is built around React. So like everything is built into that flow. And Astro is of course open to literally anything, including no JavaScript at all, as we have here. So
Mhm.
if you have like a single page app story, you got to support everything, which is
Absolutely.
definitely like it's a tougher one. But when you can crack that, like, oh boy, that's going to be crazy. Um,
Okay. So, is there more you wanted to show off the Astro 1.0 beta?
yeah. How much time do we have left, by the way?
Uh, we're actually over, but I think we're doing really well, and
Oh,
I'm good to keep going if you are.
are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, the only thing we haven't tried is components. Like we haven't imported like a dynamic component. I don't know what we do with it because our whole e-commerce site didn't need JavaScript technically,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
uh, we could add one.
Okay.
See it in action.
Yeah, let's
I
do
don't
it.
know. Yeah,
So,
let's do it.
components. Um, do we want to add like a carousel or something like that?
If it comes to mind, I've got some source code that I can send to you if you want
Oh, sure.
for a
What's
carousel.svelte.
Oh, okay. So I can just
Yeah.
do carousel.svelte in here?
Yes.
All right.
Now we have that. And as you might imagine, you can't import this svelte component yet. But if you go to your terminal and do astro add svelte, then you can
Let's do it.
with npx, of course. Yeah.
Hmm.
Already knew. Nice.
And then after this, after we handle adding components, I think one more thing that might be good to kind of round out this whole thing is deploying an Astro site.
That is true. We can probably use the Netlify adapter instead of Node and then
Okay.
see what happens. It should be as simple as install, deploy.
All right. Yeah. So we've got Svelte. And then do you have the component you want?
Yeah, I'm just DMing on Discord.
I don't have Discord open. Can you send that to me over
Ooh,
Zoom?
sure. Yeah,
Trying to minimize how many windows I've got open,
makes sense.
because I have had some lag issues on previous streams.
Can only imagine. Yeah. Oh, it won't let me paste it. What? Is it too big? Maybe it's too
You
big.
have it like as a URL I can get to? No.
Let me put it on a gist. Sure.
All right. And then meanwhile, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume, just so that we've got it, that the Astro integration for Netlify is just Astro add Netlify. That would be my guess.
Uh, yes, you'll need to install it. I don't think we have the Astro add fanciness for
Oh, do we not
adapters.
have that set up?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
I don't think we set it up for adapters yet.
Hmm.
Oh my god. All right. Do it. Boom. Well, it shouldn't have added it there. I'll send that bug report for sure. But yeah, we'll put Netlify in the adapter section and not the integration section.
Got it. Okay. So here's your gist that you've got. I'll go ahead and just copy this in here.
Yes. Now it
Um,
does require photos as like a, and I think photos have, oh yeah, I set it up with URL, title, and date. We don't have all of those. So
okay.
you could probably get away with stubbing some of those out in there. I'm just looking at like that A tag. Yeah. You could
Yeah.
turn the A into a div and remove the href.
Yeah, that's what I think I'll do is I'll just um as
Yeah,
was
this is
I
a,
don't know the syntax.
don't,
Actually,
don't worry
I
about it.
probably do because Brittany
This is
can't.
a hack to get carousels working in like the smallest amount of code, and I kind of
Okay.
regret it now because it's not super readable. There's like a slightly more readable way to do this, but yeah, if you put back the code that was there, I just want to make totally sure I don't get this wrong. Actually, no, I think the main thing is that photo is the object. So yeah,
Okay.
if you just
Yeah.
like make an
Let's
image, that's kind of
remove
it.
the anchor tag there, I guess. We'll just have that. And let's see. It's got a URL. Um yeah, alt is going to be broken. I'm just gonna have a broken carousel. It's not gonna be very
I love
good,
it.
but yikes. And
Yes.
then a Astro.
Fun.
Okay.
And I
Not
think
pretty.
if you
Doesn't even have image URLs, but
yeah,
we've
if you
got
wrap
a
that in a
carousel that
div,
should work.
yeah, if you wrap that in a div with banner CTA as the class, I have some pre-built styles in here just to make it look like
Okay.
nice. I'm just mentioning because there's some absolute positioning and it's probably gonna explode
I
without the
see.
container. So
Right, all right.
and yeah,
Now I need to actually use this. So let me just drop it on this utterly abused date page. I need
might
to
be a
import it.
homepage thing, but yeah, let's put it here.
And is it as easy as import from and then that .svelte file?
Yeah, watch that.
Uh, Carousel. See if that fundamentally breaks
Oh,
anything, huh? Not happy.
oh, it needs photos as a prop, so you could remove the export if you want.
Okay. I see. So remove like this, right? And then
Yeah, you could pass it from up top too.
got this.
Let's do that.
You got this. Now I'm gonna go here and I'll say photos. Oh, already had that there. Okay.
Nice.
Finally, assign photos equals photos.
Yep. You can also do just do curly photos if you want it like the same as the name. But yeah.
Ooh,
And
actually, it
that,
didn't.
well, it should be happy. Did we accidentally delete photos from the props? Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, I think it expects like a different type or something. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah, we can go somewhere valid. And oh, we
Oh.
need to restart the server.
Yep. Yeah, the VS Code
Nerd.
extension does not support the shorthand syntax. Got it.
Mm.
Got it. Yeah. Let this come back up
Oh, that's
again.
good to know, actually. Okay.
And oh, adapter. Oh yeah. We
Yep.
did too
It
many things
auto
at once.
applied
We
it.
flew too close to the sun. Um
Yeah, just delete that. And then we can put it on at the end.
start us with a clean run there. Nikki goes, love that shorthand syntax. I wish JSX and React supported that, or does it? I don't think it does.
Doesn't. Yeah, we started just inspired by JSX, but slowly like just removed some things we didn't like. Where it's like you can do the JSX syntax and it all works, but you can also do the not JSX.
Mm-hmm. Photos is
Okay,
not
so
defined
photos is not defined.
at
That's
carousel.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think we
Then
deleted the export. Yeah, so just export let photos equals empty array.
photos equals okay. Got it. Interesting.
Yeah, that's just like
Already,
the
I think.
default value.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
it's funny.
Already, I think components are maybe some of the um weirdest intricacies I've had with this so far, but that's fine. And then presumably, I I think it's getting a different because it's got some logic in there that's like how many more to show. Okay.
So actually, this is working as intended, but you need to opt in to shipping JavaScript with this component. So by
Okay.
default, we just server render components, and then you choose if you want JavaScript alongside it. So
Got it.
yeah, so if you go back to where we use the component,
Right.
you can put a little directive in here that's called client colon. There you go.
Which one? Client idle?
Yeah, I mean the difference is I think it links to the documentation if you like want to learn more, but idle just means there. Yeah, that
I'm just
that's what
gonna
that's what it is.
shout out. There we go. Just huge shout out there. To uh Princess Aya in the chat, who is apparently the person who's been working on these excellent dev tools. Just great
I
job,
assume that's
seriously.
Erica. Yeah, it they're so good. What's nice about like owning a templating language is you can just own all of the docs and everything. So like, whereas in Remix like, you got to import a bunch of stuff. In Astro, it's like we can just put in the dev tools, so you just see it as you're typing. But yeah,
Oh, it
now
is
it's
straight up going at it,
yeah,
scrolling
it's a
through.
quick interval, so you can tweak that.
Yeah, let's do that
I
real
made it
quick.
fast in the demo to like show, and you can do hot module reloading and then change it, but
Got it. Okay.
less showmanship here.
This right here. Yeah, so I'll just say like every 3 seconds. Um, yeah,
Nice.
cool. All right, so that's components. Obviously, like we would have had a better demo, I think, had I like cared to go grab some images. But like we've got some components, we've added some JavaScript to our page. It's executing Svelte logic, and this means that Svelte itself is being, or I guess Svelte doesn't really get shipped. It compiles JavaScript. Um, but all of this is like it's run through the Svelte compiler.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Yeah. So I think maybe next we deploy a site.
Let's deploy. I actually haven't deployed on stream yet. It's got
Oh
to be
man.
seamless. I mean,
All right. So I know I'm gonna need the like adapter here. Can adapter be an array? Like, can I do this?
no.
Okay.
That would be interesting to like build to multiple targets, but you can just replace node with netlify. And if you want to run it locally, you can use like the Netlify CLI and say Netlify dev, and it'll, route everything correctly. But we'll just do like a production build and
Okay,
see where we get. I don't know
got
if you
it.
have the Netlify CLI.
I should have the Netlify CLI. At one
Nettle.
point I updated this Mac and things got weird with those kinds of installs, so we'll see if I even do. Usually it would reply a little faster than that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Netlify version. Hanging.
I don't know.
Um, okay. What if Oh, there we go. So I do have it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, in that
Um
case, you can do a build and then run Netlify deploy.
okay, so like Netlify build like that.
That might work too. I was thinking Astro build, but that might work because I know Netlify is really magic about auto detecting this is Astro, auto detecting your deployment directory, etc.
Oh, I need to actually initialize this. Should I initialize it and then do all of these things, or you know what?
Oh, I don't
I'll
know.
listen to what you're saying here. So npm
Yeah.
run build. I'll
Ooh,
do a
also
whole.
change your site so you don't accidentally publish to semantics.dev
You know that's
because
fair.
it will. I don't think it won't use it. It might change it for safety. I think we just use it for like sitemaps if those are generated.
There we go. Yeah, I think likely should be fine. Honestly.
All right.
Okay. Now Netlify init, create a new site. Um, create and configure a new site. Put it on
Do it.
my team. We're gonna call this Some Antics Astro V1 Beta, being very explicit about
Very
that.
specific.
That is my build command.
That's it.
Dist Netlify functions. There we
Yep.
go. Um,
Mm.
oh
There's no
yeah, I've got
yeah,
multiple
union.
organizations going on here. First of all,
Ooh, okay.
yeah, hang on. We'll just. I got this. Um, site
That's it.
that up. Then we're in privacy mode now. Excellent. I love having a stream deck. Makes
That is nice. It's the
doing
physical one.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and I actually do need this to be up in my other browser, don't I? Because I'm not logged into Netlify on this browser profile. Um, uh, yeah. And for what it's worth, I do recognize that like this privacy mode that I've set up is the most secure thing in the world. Like blurs can be kind of reverse engineered. The way to just make things a little more obnoxious. Thinking about getting those
Thinking about
sites.
it.
Oh, Nikki, so that's not a built-in thing. This is I've set up a scene in OBS that has everything like blurred and the text that says privacy mode is active. And then I just have a toggle scene um button on my stream
Mm.
deck. There we are. And now there we go. Everyone can see. So site settings. Going to go to I want deploy settings, link a repository. I need to fix my I need to fix my organization so that the semantics organization has like all the same permissions. Oh, hello. We are not authorizing Netlify access to my Microsoft
Yeah,
repositories.
just grab that. Prod database deploys. Sure.
Hmm.
Link it. When it comes to Netlify, I probably allowed so many things I don't even realize. I just trust them. I don't know.
Right, there we are. We got there.
Beautiful.
Deploy. All right. It would be much easier had you not done what I'd done, which is stick things in an additional organization. That is on me and
Ah,
not on Astro.
that's tough.
All right. It's thinking about all these things.
Is building.
It's building. Yeah. In the meantime, I think go ahead and give out the URL for the. I mean, it's right there, right? So it's just gonna be um
No.
this
What happened?
this in the chat for anyone who wants to like take a look at this app. Nope, that's not it. Oh wait, no, yeah, that is it. Is it? Site deploy failed.
Yeah, I know.
Is
Let's
it?
find out. Okay.
Oh, okay. That Oh, deploy directory dist does not exist. Well, that's unfortunate.
Because it. Oh,
Oh,
I've
because
never
it
seen
failed the
that.
build because it couldn't find Astro, I think. So it didn't build.
But well, we've got Astro. That's the only dependency, I think. Well, actually, no, we have our integrations as well. But
Okay. I'm gonna
what?
try doing what
What?
it's. I haven't netlify toml yet. I thought that was something that got created whenever you did the init, but I could be very wrong. Let's get this.
Yeah, let me. Hmm,
Give this a shot.
I don't know, because that doesn't seem right.
Okay. Um. Uh. By the way, I know Nikki's in the chat. Congratulations on the Netlify gig. We love Netlify here.
Ooh.
Um, but right now something funky. If this works. Oop, that that thing. Okay.
Yeah, because we. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going for it.
Okay.
See,
We failed just after this.
good. Folks in the chat, how are y'all doing? Any questions for Ben? Anything you want to know? Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Uh, so this time we
Well, that
don't
just.
have the functions thing.
Well, that's just odd. Deploy directory dist does not exist. Yes, it does.
Interesting.
Well,
Maybe a
actually,
typo in the folder name. Andy
I don't think it
suggests.
does. Head back to our build or head back to our code editor. Because I don't think dist is the build output. I think netlify is the build output. If you see that folder right there, netlify.
Oh.
That is the build
Oh.
with functions inside of it. Okay. So you can put inside of this toml, I'm looking up the syntax to be sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
build publish equals
does it publish
netlify.
equals netlify like this? Oop.
Yeah, but now I'm worried functions needs to be a different directory too. Maybe you can do publish equals just slash like base directory, and then it'll find netlify functions inside of that.
Okay, so like this.
I think so. Let's try that. I'm very curious about the external node modules. I haven't seen that before.
Trying it. Do we have a bit of a sound delay? That happens sometimes on the stream. Sorry about that. Welcome, Saltsea, though. It's good to have you here. We actually do have a question from the chat that maybe you can answer, which is, at what level of dynamicness does it stop making sense to use Astro?
That is the question of the ages. SSR is new as of a couple weeks ago. So we're still like, we want to build things with it until it feels bad, pretty much. But I would say like we've definitely drawn a line at dashboards, like interactive apps like Slack and Facebook, anything on those far ends of the spectrum that are very client driven. Don't really make a lot of sense for Astro. And there's also the fact that it's a multi-page app instead of a single page app, which means the page refreshes every time. You need to fetch things from the server in order to populate the page. So if you want to have like state that is shared between routes, there are solutions and we're making it easier. But right now it's like if you have dynamic state management like that as well, Astro doesn't make as much sense. So yeah, I can definitely speak for like far ends of the spectrum, but things like e-commerce, I feel like Astro will grow with you pretty well. There aren't a lot of use cases I can think of that are like Astro definitely does not fit that. But beyond that, yeah, it gets a little tough.
Makes sense. Right. Uh, I went in case you missed it. I went into like the actual UI for Netlify and I changed the directory. It might be that this doesn't pan out, in which case I just kind of let. Oh, hello,
Uh,
hello. That's
uh,
that's progress.
that is something. That is
Hey,
something.
look at that. Okay,
All right.
open, publish, deploy. Show me
Take
my
me
site.
there.
Must use import to load
Okay.
ES module.
Um, holy crap, what? Um, so go to any route and see what happens.
Okay.
I am definitely going to be investigating this.
Hmm. Date doesn't seem to
Okay.
work.
So things are going. I'm wondering if it's our node version because it's saying ES modules are not supported. Yeah, it's probably our node version.
Okay, got it.
That's my guess because we deploy to ESM modules and it might be upset with that if you're below like I think Netlify uses node 14 by default and 16 would help.
Okay,
So I think
yeah.
that
So
would solve the issue.
I think I can go in here. I can say environment. I don't think I have. Yeah, no environment variables yet. Pretty sure I can go in and I can just say node version. Do I have to supply like like can I supply just a? I'll just show you what I'm typing there. Can I just supply just a major or? I need.
Yes, I've done that before.
Okay, we'll do that then, and then try once more.
Try one more, yeah. I'm also wondering if that was our Astro issue where like did an ESM import of Astro and then it exploded. Could have been.
Hmm. Could be. Menides says, yeah, they've added that to their like TOML, which works even better.
It
Um,
does, yeah.
right now I'm just gonna I think stick to using the Netlify interface just for speed. But yes, totally. Eight script success. Have been deployed. Refresh. Hmm.
I don't think it picked up the node version. Well, you can check the build logs and see what I think it tells you.
Yeah. See those logs where well, it would be in deploys, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah, it should be under there.
and yeah, that's the deploy. Brandon, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Where
Welcome.
are the logs in Netlify? I know
Where
I've
are the
seen these
logs?
things.
Beyond like the deploy logs, I don't know.
Okay. Hmm. Give it one more refresh. Just okay. must use import to load ES module in this
Yeah,
case.
it's kind of like a reverse. I'm wondering if now that I think there's going to be a lot to debug here. It might be as simple as we needed the node version and we didn't need the exclude on the astro dependency, because that is so weird to me. Like that has not
Yeah,
been an issue in the
let's
past.
try that then,
Um,
real quick.
it can be the last try. Just delete the functions clause inside of that netlify toml. See what happens, because you need astro to build it. I'm confused by that. But yeah, I don't know.
Nikki wants to know if we're using require anywhere. I don't think we're
No,
using require
no.
anywhere in this project unless
You can
it's like
search
in
for
the
it, yeah.
Svelte. Like, uh, netlify functions. There's require util.
Well, it does do that. Interesting that it does. I think it like implements require however to build works. No, maybe not.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be an issue, actually. I don't know.
Adrian
If so,
Engine
it would
wants
be a recent bug.
Adrian Engine wants me to run a local build, and Nikki suggested this earlier. I should have done this far earlier, but
Yeah, I saw it. It was there. So we can at least preview the build with netlify dev if we want to.
There. Okay, so that seems to work just fine locally. This says published.
Yeah, I think it worked fine everywhere. It's just, yeah, try running netlify dev locally.
Hey. Oh, okay.
Oh,
it was removing the
whoa.
external. Okay.
It
Cool.
was. All right, excellent.
Then
Yeah, I guess it was all just node version at the end of the day.
yeah.
And we go here.
And then this seems to have blanked out. I guess there's nothing here.
Huh? What on earth?
Yeah, so there may still need to be further integration for the server side. Except everything's generated server side now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's server side.
And
so I
how do
don't know.
how do I get to my logs? I feel like oh, it's functions, isn't it? Function
Yes.
entry. Here we go. Here's the logs.
And there's not much there. Yeah, I've had bad luck with function logs. They don't say much.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, we're good. I think
But yeah, wacky.
You what?
It's funny that the homepage shows up, because I was wondering if it was going to be like you go to .netlify/functions and something was misconfigured in the URL. But yeah, that try going to /checkout.
That worked.
Funny.
It's just the
It's the dynamic routes. Interesting.
Good to know.
Try going to a bad route. Does the redirect work?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
it doesn't. Okay, it's the dynamic routes.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Do you think this is something within Astro itself that like Astro needs to debug, or is this more likely something in our project?
I'm thinking so. At the moment, I don't, because we've definitely done this correctly. There's not really anything else to do. So I'll take a look at it. Team will take a look at it for sure. Rest assured this should work. People watching at home, obviously. Just make sure your node version is set, and we'll debug the dynamic route issue. But yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just try one last thing, which is
you can. I'd be shocked if that was it.
Just who knows? All right. In the meantime, I think that's probably the big YOLO deploy, the last one for today, probably, because we are well.
Did you see that, by the way?
What,
it said URL search param, so it was trying. That's so funny.
It really? Oh.
Yeah, it did. I don't know why.
How down did it get then?
Oh no, that's checkout. That's checkout.
Oh, right. Okay.
Forgot about that.
Um, hey, Fred's got some suggestions in the chat. Also, welcome, Fred. Good to
Oh,
have you
nice.
here. Um,
Hello.
and yeah, there's a redirects file that gets built. There could be something wrong there. Yeah. Um, hmm. Yeah. So I think though we are
I know we're a half
base
hour over, so
yeah, we are 40 minutes over.
okay.
So I think this first of all, this has been delightful, Ben. Thank you so
I'm
much
glad.
for hopping on and showing this, just taking time out of your day to show off Astro and the stuff that y'all have been working on. Is there anything more you want to say or shout out or point people to before we sign off for the day?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, our community Discord is always open and very welcoming to new contributors and such. You can find it at astro.build/chat, and that will take you to a link to join. In there, we have like weekly RFC calls where people can hop on and give their opinions about RFCs that we're bringing to the Astro Proper project. If you don't know, RFC stands for Request for Comments. So you can comment on new features that we're trying to implement. And from here, we're refining 1.0 beta to get to 1.0. So, of course, this is all open source. Go check out the repo and actually, like, look through the contributing guide and see how you can contribute. I know it's been updated recently, so it's very beginner friendly. And on Twitter, we've been announcing all of the new features and such, including demo videos recorded by myself and some amazing blog posts and other content written by the team. So check out the Twitter for future updates and when 1.0 is stable. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to share. Also, if you go to /hack, there is a hackathon now that I can at least call out. It's happening for the next month, encouraging everyone to try the Astro features and build new integrations, themes, and SSR websites like this one in order to take everything for a spin and show off to the community what you've come up with.
All right. Cool. And while you're following folks on Twitter, I put the link to the Astro Twitter account in the chat. But while y'all are following folks on Twitter, go follow Ben. And then also, you can follow Some Antics, and you'll get all the news for all the upcoming streams. Next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time, I'm bringing on Adrian Bologno. Adrian is an accessibility engineer for GitHub, and he's going to be demonstrating how we can build automated accessibility testing into our continuous integration, continuous deployment tooling, so that every time you push up a commit, we automatically scan our sites for accessibility. So if that's something you're interested in, go follow the Twitter account. Go follow this account right here, and that's where you'll stay up to date with streams like that and more. Stick around, chat. We are going to find someone to raid, continue the stream love. Thank you all so much for being here. Ben, thank you as well. Astro team, whom I've seen in the chat, thank you all for being here and providing your support as well. And also, just an additional shout out to Nikki, who's now at Netlify and was providing a lot of suggestions as well. So thank you all so much for being here. We will see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.